Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of the Spacious Tarot. So the Spacious Tarot was created by Carrie, Mallon, and Annie Ruygt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So Annie is the artist, and the concept is from Carrie and Annie, and Carrie Mallon wrote the guidebook. So the box is very lovely. This is a really nice box. And I guess I'll show you the guidebook first. And one thing I'll mention, just in case I forget to mention this at the end of the video, is if you want to learn more about this deck and how to purchase it, I'm going to put the links in the description below this video. All right, so the deck comes with a little guidebook, and I haven't really looked through the guidebook very extensively, but it's what you would expect in a guidebook. It's got descriptions of each card, and there's a little bit of info at the beginning of the book about how to work with this deck. Okay. So the card backs look like this. Really lovely. Kind of reminds me of a galaxy. Really happy and bright. And the card stock is really, really nice. So the card stock is thick. It's good quality. Feels like this deck's going to last a while. And the finish is a matte texture, which I love. That's probably my favorite type of finish for a tarot deck. And the size is perfect, so I can fit my little feminine hands around these cards to shuffle. So it's a really nice size. They don't feel too small and they don't feel too big, so it's really, really lovely. And what I love about this deck is that there's no borders on the cards. So what I think I'm going to do is just slowly go through this deck and let you get a feel for the cards as I kind of talk about them and share my thoughts here and there. So I love the first card, the Fool. I love this because there's like the edge of a cliff, like it's a precipice that you're about to leap off of, and it makes me feel like I am the Fool when I look at this card. Like I really feel like I can feel that feeling and really enter the card. So the art style, I love the title of the deck, the Spacious Tarot, and the style of the artwork feels spacious, like it's very, very simple. And I find that the older I get and the more tarot decks I see, the more I have come to appreciate really simple, clean style of artwork. I love this card so much. I feel like this card really captures what the High Priestess is all about. And I love how there's like a little universe inside this shell. It's like how the High Priestess helps us discover the universe inside ourselves. This one's particularly lovely too. And I like this. I love a cactus to represent strength. That's like the perfect symbol for the strength card. And I actually haven't done a reading yet with this deck. So I'm gonna, towards the end of this video, I'm gonna shuffle the deck and I'm gonna do a mini reading for you. And it will be the first time that I've ever read with this deck. This is a really interesting depiction of the devil, and I'm not sure what it means yet, but it makes me think of how, to me, the devil represents kind of being foggy-headed and confused and not really seeing the reality of something. And so I love how, you can't really see the forest through the trees. And then there's this sort of fog, this mist in the background. And I really like this moon with the mushrooms. Okay, so we're starting the suit of pentacles. This is a cool card here. I like this. And it makes me, because normally like on the Rider-Waite version, this card shows people working together and collaborating on a project. And here we have trees and their roots are all intertwined. And it makes me think of an article that I recently read about how they're discovering how plants and trees communicate with each other. And they communicate through their roots and through sending out signals and I want to say pheromones, but that's not the right word, but like sending out hormones or something like that, little electromagnetic messages to each other. And trees actually really communicate with each other and work together. So I think I like how this card is depicted. And this one's beautiful. Eight of Pentacles is a busy worker bee. And the court cards have been renamed. So Page is Child, the Knight is Explorer, and Queen is Guardian, and King is Elder. And you may have noticed that there's no people in this deck. So this deck is mostly nature symbols and some animals. And I really, really like the Suit of Swords in this deck. The Suit of Swords is a tricky suit. A lot of people don't like it. I don't mind it, and I really like how it's depicted in this deck, especially the Three of Swords. There's like blood here in the ice. And one thing that I didn't mention at the beginning of this video that I'll mention now is this is the first deck I've ever done a video of where I've actually met the deck creator in person. So I met Carrie Mallon about a year and a half ago in Montreal at a tarot conference. And yeah, she's the first, this is the first deck creator that I actually know. And she's actually a really lovely person. I think this is a deck that I'm going to use in my professional readings, particularly. I like how the cards are, in some respects, they kind of remind me of a pip deck. So if you're not sure what that is, a pip deck is where the major arcana or the minor arcana cards don't have scenes on them; they're just symbols. And these minor arcana cards, well, the Suit of Wands particularly reminds me of a pip deck because each card shows, just 3 wands, 4 wands, and there's not like a ton of stuff going on. And some people find that really challenging to read, but I find sometimes it's easier. Like it does create space in your mind to, allow your intuition to come through. So I appreciate that. And I love how many of the minor arcana cards really invite a certain quality of contemplation. And I mean, every tarot deck, every card invites contemplation to some degree. But I feel like with this deck, there is a spacious quality to the cards. Like as I'm looking at these cards, I feel like I have time and space to just be and to just sit with the cards. And like I said, I haven't actually done a reading yet with this deck, so it'll be interesting to see how this deck reads. Okay, so now we're into the Suit of Cups. The Suit of Cups is probably my favorite suit. Like just in general, not necessarily in this deck, although I do like how it's depicted in this deck. I like this one. It makes me think of making a wish. Okay. Now I think we're at the end of the deck. Yes, we are. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle the cards. I always like to see how a deck shuffles. Yeah, this one feels nice. I love the sound that matte cards make when you move them together. Like this sound. I love that. Okay, I'm going to shuffle one more time. All right, so I'm going to start with one card. And I'm going to draw this card with the intention that whoever is watching this video will find some kind of meaning or guidance in this card that I'm going to draw. Okay. And the card for us is, Ten of Cups. Nice, okay. So Ten of Cups is what I often call a happily ever after card. It's about dreams coming true. It's about something working out in a really harmonious way. And that's really what this card represents, is harmony. So it's like different energies and ingredients coming together and mixing in a really positive, harmonious way. I feel like this relates to relationships and how, think of all the really important people in your life. I feel like each cup kind of represents an important person and the unique energy that they bring to your life, the unique personality they have, their unique challenges and quirks and all of that. And this is about being able to, I think it's about being able to accept people as they are without trying to change them, and finding a way to work with each other and be in each other's presence in a way that enriches one another's lives, instead of, stressing each other out, or instead of trying to change each other, making people conform. It's about really recognizing everyone's uniqueness and seeing people's uniqueness as a way that, something that enriches your life and enriches the world. So let's have a look at one more card. Interesting. Okay, here we have the Nine of Wands. Now I'm going to read these cards together. So Nine of Wands is about, traditionally, I'm kind of picturing the Rider-Waite deck and how it shows someone who's kind of standing by a fence or by a line of wands, and they look defensive. And here we have we have two different color, we have black and white wands, and they're kind of crossing each other. This card can symbolize a need for rest. It can symbolize feeling kind of worn down, especially when it comes to your spirit and your sense of optimism and inspiration. It's a need of rest, and it's a need to recalibrate your mind and your outlook and your beliefs. And it's really about sort of reestablishing a optimistic outlook and expecting the best instead of the worst, and letting go. It's also a card of healing. Whenever it comes up, it indicates that we need to spend some time healing something from the past. Something that might be getting in the way of how we lead our future, but like how we move through life, how we move into the future. So what I'm getting from this is that a lot of the healing that we need to do this week or this month has to do with relationships. And it's around acceptance and accepting people for who they are. And also at the same time, when you accept others for who they are, it's easier to accept yourself. So the message here is about accepting you, accepting all parts of yourself, and also accepting the people in your life for who they are and not trying to change them. Okay. So that I think this deck reads really nicely. I'm looking forward to doing bigger readings, bigger spreads with more cards. Yeah, so really lovely deck. I love the cardstock. I love the feel. I love the simplicity of the artwork and also the colorfulness of this deck. This deck has a really nice feel to it, like physically, but also like just the vibe of it is really nice too when I look through it. It has a good feel to it, and I can definitely see myself using this deck a lot in professional readings. There's also no cards that would freak anyone out, so I like that for doing professional readings. There's no like really scary, super intense, terrifying cards, yet this is a very, I think a deep deck, and there's lots of, well, I guess this one's kind of scary, but there's lots of variety to work with, but all these cards feel, oh, this is pretty. All these cards feel good to me. Okay, so I'll show you the box one more time. So the name of this deck is called the Spacious Tarot, and it's created by Carrie, Mallon, and Annie Ruygt. I looked up how to pronounce that name and I couldn't find it. So if you're interested in purchasing this deck or finding out more, I'll put the link in the description box below this video. So thank you so much for watching, and you can find more deck reviews and more information about learning tarot on my website, dailytarotgirl.com.